Okay, first off, it's 2025. It's our first show of the year. And so I want to talk about what are some things that have changed. Now, fortunately, not a lot of changes. In fact, there's some positive news here. And let's start with that. I haven't seen anybody talk about the fact that there are a bunch of new guns on the roster as of January 1st. Have you taken a look at that, Alicia?
This January 1st?
Yeah.
No, apparently I've been under a rock this week.
If you look,
I'm looking now.
there's a bunch of 9mm and some 357s and even a 22. Shadow Systems and Smith & Wesson and Colt all have a couple of really cool guns on there. Shadow Systems, which I'm not really all that familiar with, they have their DR920P, their MR920, and their XR920, all 9mm. They look like they have shorter barrels, so they're probably good for compact. The other one's 4.5 inches. But Smith & Wesson has their M&P 9 Shield Plus, which has a pink slide. Aw. So that's...
The plus has already been, but the pink slide is different.
It's
so
the
that's a
pink slide,
variation.
yeah.
Yep.
Their M&P 9 Shield Plus in silver has also been added. The M&P 9 Shield Plus in purple. And then a Colt Python, a 357 has been added. And then what is a Rost Martin? I'm not familiar with them.
I'm not familiar either.
Their RM1C has been added, and that's a 9mm pistol with a 4-inch barrel. And Colt Python again, I don't know the difference between these two. Oh, one's a 4.25-inch barrel and then the 6-inch barrel, so both have been added. Mm-hmm. And then another from Rost Martin, RM1C. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like a dozen guns have been added since January 1st, so check it out. Go to the California DOJ, check out their certified handguns and their stupid roster, and then go down to your favorite gun shop and buy one of these guns, which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm seeing a bunch of things. This is one thing that hasn't changed, but I keep hearing people talk about it, and I don't know why. So back in the 2023-2024 session, Senate Bill 53 passed, and it's a storage law. So basically, the way it works in California, the way it worked in California, is you had to store your firearm so that prohibited people or people that couldn't handle a firearm wouldn't be able to access it. So if you didn't have any prohibited people in your house and you didn't have any children, you could leave it on your nightstand or wherever. Your house is locked, your house is secure. You were good to go. In fact, let me read from this bill, SB 53. By our good friend Portantino, who's as anti-gun as they come. Existing law makes it a misdemeanor or a felony if a person keeps a firearm within any premises that are under the person's custody or control, and the person knows or reasonably should know that a child is likely to gain access to the firearm without the permission of the child's parent or legal guardian, and the child obtains access to the firearm and causes injury other than great bodily harm, injury, or death, or great bodily injury to the child or any other person, or carries that firearm off the premises as defined to a public place or a school. Existing law exempts a person from the above provisions if the person has no reasonable expectation based on objective facts and circumstances that a child is likely to be present on the premises. This bill would remove these exemptions. Basically what this bill did is, and it was voted into law, and it makes it to where you have to secure your firearm inside your house at all times, unless you're actually touching it. It's a very vague definition. You can't leave it on your nightstand. It has to be under your control. And if you're not touching it, it's not under your control. Now that again hasn't been tested in court. But this is basically identical to some of the local places, like La Mesa tried to pass this. Solana Beach did pass this. San Diego passed this. And it's no different from them. It hasn't changed in any way. They presented it, and there was no change from presentation till passage. But here's the thing. This doesn't go into effect
2026.
2026. I don't know why, but I saw a bunch of videos talking about it. Says it black and white. This bill would, beginning on January 1, 2026, require a person who possesses a firearm in a residence to keep the firearm securely stored when the firearm is not being carried or readily controlled by the person or another lawful authorized user. So what is readily controlled?
Very open to interpretation.
It's very. I would say the most literal, safest interpretation of this law is you got to be touching it.
Yep.
You got to be touching it. If it's on your nightstand and you're brushing your teeth, are you in control of that? I don't want to be that test case.
Now, one thing that's important to note is that there's two different ways to secure your firearm. And I was just reading through SB 52 or 53 just to see if they gave any clarification or instruction either way. You can either prevent function by putting a lock on the gun, or you can prevent access by putting it essentially behind a locked door in a locking device.
Yes.
And it doesn't give any direction. So it still looks as though that would be the same. You either secure it by preventing function with a locking device on the gun, an internal lock mechanism on your firearm if your firearm has one counts, or a lock device that you put on the gun. For example, if you want to fight with a cable lock and run it through your mag well, right, that works. Or a trigger lock if you find one that actually functions and works, that works. Or you put it in a locking device or in a safe, something like that.
Right.
Preventing access.
But reminder, this doesn't go into effect
2026.
for another year.
Right.
So that's what I wanted to make that point. So you have 12 months to fully embrace this. We have 12 months to fight it. But understand the law. It will go into effect next January. No, it is not happening in 2025. Let me repeat, it is not happening in 2025. Okay, the next one is, this is the only real change. It's AB 1596. It requires firearm dealers to provide consumers with a pamphlet covering the reasons for and risks of firearm ownership. Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
I found this article on Breitbart. It's actually written by A.W.R. Hawkins, who's awesome. Among the warnings, dealers are to make customers aware of the claim that gun ownership increases risk of death to someone in the household by suicide, homicide, or unintentional injury. So basically what they've done with AB 1596 is that they have legally mandated false information. So they are basically using your tax money in a way, although it's probably tax neutral, but they're forcing speech by gun shops that they don't agree with and is not factually accurate. This is their subjective opinion. It's totally wrong. That's the big change. That really is the big change. Now, let's talk about, so we talked about a positive change, that things are being added to the roster. We talked about something that is not happening until 2026. We talked about an actual change that really puts the burden on gun dealers. And now let's talk about something that didn't happen, which is good. AB 1483 passed. And the way things worked is you could purchase one firearm a month. So every 30 days, one firearm. There was an exception for private party transfers. So if you're buying from someone other than a dealer, if you're buying from another private party, you're a private party, you're buying from another private party, then you could, buy and sell as many as you wanted. There was no 30-day prohibition. This bill passed into law actually got rid of that. It was AB 1483, which meant that even private party transfers were limited to one per month. The good news is all of that has been eliminated thanks to our lawsuit, Win versus Bonta, so that you, private party, from a dealer, you can do as many transfers a month as your heart desires. So had we not won that case, had we not picked up that case and fought so hard, thanks to groups like Firearms Policy Coalition, and of course, again, we're plaintiffs on that case. Thanks to that lawsuit, we defeated a bill before it even went into effect. So congratulations and thank you so much. What do you think of that, Alicia?
I think it's fantastic. You guys are fighting the fight that the rest of us don't know how to do, which is important.
Well, you're a member, though. You're in it with us.
That's it. But that's the thing is when we're members, we're supporting the organization. The organization then is able to take that support, and then on our behalf is fighting for the things that we need. That's the key.
That's the key.
That's it.
All right, and that's all you need to know this week. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. I'm Michael from Gun Owners Radio. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and make a comment. Help us out. Go to gunownersradio.com. Thanks for watching.